So back, you've always loved makeup since you were a teenager?
Yeah, since I was a teenager, it was so fun. Like for the school dances and stuff, my friends and I would get together. One of my friends she's super artistic. Like she's very good at painting. And then, so she's very good at it. Yeah, it's like a canvas. But like the thing is now with motherhood, I like hardly ever do it.
No,
I'm like, it's a rare occasion.
I know.
But
Like sometimes like, hey, friends, I need to get out of my workout clothes and stuff. Can we please go to dinner or something? Because
I know.
take a shower and like curl my hair.
That's like literally what I live in. And then I've lately been just going so much longer with not washing my hair
Yeah.
to the point where, yeah, I've had my family make comments like, it's time,
Yeah.
like, okay, I get it. I get it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is so awesome, Bree, what you're doing. And I love that you're speaking, like, because just from the conversations that you and I have had, and I think of like our first real, like, one-on-one phone
Yeah.
conversation, and I was like, man, your story and the message that you have, like it tremendously helped me in that one conversation. And so I'm just like super excited for the other people who will get to hear your story and the message you share, because it's going to really, really impact them and help them with what they're walking through.
It's like a weird shift to make, and you probably understand this when it's like you're stepping like out of the shadow figure and you're like, no, I actually have a voice. Like I have things that I want to share that like I'm really passionate about and like that God has put on my heart to share. But it's a very vulnerable position to be in. And it's scary because I'm not like marketing a business. I'm not marketing like a
Yeah.
company, a concept. Like I'm really marketing myself and just my story. And
Yes.
it's weird. Like I keep telling people like I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know where this is going. I just know that like I feel called to bring things into the light, and that's my own story to help people through maybe some like that have experienced similar things, but also like just this blog, vlog, whatever this married into the game concept is going to be. It really like it's centered on behind every single game, there's a story.
Mm,
Every single player, there's a person or multiple people. And being
yes.
married to the game is like, I just want to shift from viewing the stadium only and like taking
Mm,
those lights into the stands and being like, okay, but there's these amazing wives and women and families that have given up like their own careers and dreams and things to support their husband, and they wouldn't have it any other way, but like they're people with gifts and talents,
yes.
and just to highlight who we are as the wife,
Yeah.
like the shadow side to their big careers.
Oh, I love it because just because I feel like in all of that, what you're doing, it's this like restoring like value and worth. It's like it's already there. They have that too. However, because of the nature of this lifestyle and being married to someone who has these very spotlight gifts, it
Yeah,
feels very much like there's this unequal, like I must not. It's so subtle and subconscious, but this is what I've struggled with and so many other women that I have talked to. It's like not feeling like you matter as much, not feeling like you're as valuable because you're not out there visibly like they are. And so it's really cool because it's this like reclaiming and restoring their sense of value and worth, being like, yeah, you're equal, like you equally matter just as much, and we're here to highlight you and put a voice like, and you don't have to go out and do shiny things, but like
right.
we can highlight what like who you are, the things that you are doing. Like it's just very needed, and it's really cool to do that because it's a big struggle to
Yeah. Yeah,
be
no,
married. Yeah.
it totally is. Let's go back just like for a step. And will you just tell us like about you, who you are, who you're married to, the game that you've been married to,
Mhm.
kind of, I know he's not playing anymore, so like how what his career is now, and then what you're passionate about and what you're doing. If you're comfortable sharing about your kids, their ages and names, great. If not, you don't have to. Um, but yeah, just tell us a little bit about you first.
Okay. Okay. I'll do my best.
You can do
Got to practice this.
it. You can.
Um, so I'm Jena Burris, and my husband is Miles Burris. I remember when we first got married and he played in the NFL his rookie year, like that first month or two of the actual season, and I met the general manager's wife at the time. And she goes, pay attention to how you introduce yourself. Do
Mm,
you introduce yourself as, oh, I'm Miles' wife? Or
mm,
do you introduce yourself as, hey, I'm Jenna. My husband
yeah.
is Miles. It's just this subtle shift, which I still remember, and that was like 13 years ago, because it really does, like every time you introduce who you are, it really is so subconscious in the message that you're saying to yourself. And
Mhm. 100.
um, so anyways, I just remember that and it was so, so good. But yeah, he played for, let's see, I think four accredited years, but 3 seasons. He was released injured. He tried to get back for 2 years after being injured, which was a really
Mhm.
rough road. And then basically the door slapped him in the face. Like it just smacked him when he realized he went to a Vikings mini camp in May of 2017. And that's when he realized at camp, like, wow, after 2 years, my knee is still not able to hold up. It blew up to the size of a softball. He looked at the game tape
Oh,
and was like, that's not me. I can't
wow.
continue.
Wow.
So I remember he texted me and he sent me in a text this like journal basically of these notes in his note section in his phone. And I remember feeling just so sad for him.
Mm,
And it was like a mix of just this despair, depression, sadness, and fear, knowing he was about to hop on the flight home and being like, how am I going to support him with
yeah.
his dreams being crushed,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's worked so hard, he's sacrificed so much. So I was really nervous when he came back. And then he came back super depressed. It was just a very harsh reality. And so um yeah, in that there was this time like he would hardly he would not leave the house. Like he would just move from the bed to the couch and
Yeah.
watch Parks and Rec just to cope. He was like,
And did you
I
guys have children at this point in time?
no, we didn't
No.
have kids at this time. So it's just the two of us, which helped a lot. Like that would have been a
Yeah.
whole other element to
Other layer
navigate.
of sure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was short. So it was a few weeks of him kind of just in this state, and I felt so panicked. Like I was super uncomfortable with seeing him like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, as a recovering codependent, I can look back and see, oh wow, that was so like these unhealthy codependent tendencies coming out. Whereas like, I need to fix this. I need to change how he's feeling. I need to
I need to
jump in
boot
and
up. Yes.
rescue him.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I literally went into like rescuer mode and just out of sheer panic of like, how do I get him out of this? Like, I don't know what to do. And so he had talked about prior to like when he was in college, even like wanting to possibly go into acting and like try
Okay.
acting classes in the off season and all of that. So at this time we were living in Orange County and I had Googled like acting classes in LA because we were only like an hour away. So I was
Dear
like, guess
Google,
what?
please tell me what to do
Exactly.
next.
It's like anything to help us like move on, like get out
Yes.
of this depression state. Like, what do we do? So I literally just Googled like and saw the very first Google result and was like, okay, this looks good enough. Like, let's just try it. And so yeah, so I let him know. I was like, hey, I saw this acting class. We're really close now to LA. Like, just try it, give it a shot. So he did. And then it was about 6 weeks after that that he booked his first like big role, which
Okay.
was very surprising. It's very
Yeah, quick.
unlikely. Like this,
Yeah.
yeah, it usually does not happen that quick. So 6 weeks later, so he booked this role, and I remember it was like 11:30 at night, like his first day on the job. And I was just waiting for the phone call because I'm like, okay, like, is this going to be it?
Mhm.
Like, is this the next thing? Trying to figure out this transition. And he calls me and he goes, yep, this is it. It feels like the first day I put on pads. And I had so
Um,
much relief.
yeah.
Like, oh, thank God, because I didn't know what we're going to do next. I was like, I
Yeah.
have no idea. If this doesn't work out, like, as a rescuer, I have no idea how I'm going to rescue him, like the next step.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's what he's been doing now for the past 8 years.
Okay.
And acting has had a lot of parallels and similars to football. So I do feel like we were prepared for it in a
Hmm.
lot of ways. And
Hmm.
then it definitely has. unique aspects as well. So now in those similarities, like we do have two kids now, a 5-year-old boy, a 3-year-old girl. And so we're navigating that here. I'm like, dang, like I don't know. That's how I would have done that at like 23 with like two kids. I don't know. So yeah, crazy.
Yes.
But anyways, so that's kind of the gist of I guess our dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else you had asked me, but
Well, just tell me a little
yeah.
bit about about you and your passions and yeah, just what things do you love? What are you passionate about? Like what are you dreaming for the next season as well?
Yes. Okay. So I have my master's in marriage and family therapy, and I'm also certified as a life coach. So I am really, really passionate overall about like of healing, right? Like healing from the inside out mostly. And so like addressing issues and topics that most people like don't want to talk about, but because of my own pain and struggle of keeping so many of those things in the dark and realizing like how much it caused me to struggle unnecessarily. Like if I could have just found somebody to bring that to and like talk as honestly as possible, it would have helped me tremendously earlier on.
Mhm.
And so I feel very passionate about that healing, but particularly for women, like, and in two kind of main camps. Like, I feel very passionately about moms
Mhm.
because there's so many struggles that we as moms face that we feel so much shame to even talk about. And yet we just perpetuate these cycles and patterns. And I just, for myself, experience this and then have seen so many other friends and moms who are just being like crushed under the weight of these crazy expectations and
Yeah.
real like this whole, the mom guilt stuff. And so I feel very deeply for that
Mhm.
group of women. And then the other group is for NF like for pro athlete wives, like whether it's current or former, just because of again part of my own story. Like I struggled so much when he played,
Mhm.
like having like myself like for years debilitating depression. At one point I had suicidal ideations and just everything I felt like I had to keep to myself. And when I would share with someone, it would be so dismissed, like
Mhm.
or minimized. So it's like, well, what do you have to complain about? Because somehow money solved every problem, right? So it's like,
Yeah, like you're like no.
okay,
Yeah.
no, at all. So so I feel very much like this deep desire to want to speak to those struggles that
Mhm.
so many of us face and deal with, whether it's like during or post. Just because I know if I would have heard somebody talking about it, it would have helped me feel less alone and been like, I'm not crazy. Like,
Yes, mic
yeah,
drop there. And that's, oh my gosh, like every time we talk, I'm like, okay, our souls are just connected. Like our stories are very connected
yeah,
anyways. But like when you say that to me, like I get like an adrenaline rush because that is like so what I'm so deeply passionate about is the people that were like, if someone would have just said, hey, I've been there too, let me just share with you some things that I did, and you're not alone in this. And what I share with
yes.
you, take it or leave it, but just know you're not alone. Like that is our superpower. Like it
Hmm.
truly is. Because when you are in a season, and I sadly can almost guarantee someone in those stands or someone you talk to probably at some point did experience those things to a certain degree, but they, in their own shame and embarrassment, that's still their unhealed trauma, they don't want to open up that can of worms. So
Yes.
be like, oh, bless your heart. I'm so sorry, you know?
Which is the worst thing that can be said. Yes, I totally, and they don't even realize it or necessarily mean to, but like you said, it's being so wrapped up in this unhealed part of them that feeds the shame, it feeds that like humiliation and then you're left with like, okay, the girl next to you who it's like and it's not to like downplay that person, but it's just
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
We're all walking around with these like dark parts of us in our story. And what a shame it is that like that is someone's lifeline and you're looking at it as your biggest hindrance. And it is literally like someone else's life raft. You're like, this is not your
Exactly.
anchor. Like this is a raft. Like, it's just
Yes,
shifting your mentality. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I so agree. It is, and that word lifeline is like, it so speaks to me because it's like it's just like the there's these so many messages, the unspoken pressures and expectations of like what you're supposed to look like, how
Mhm.
you're supposed to be, and whatever. And it's just like, man, the reality is very different from the external like pressure and expectations of what people say it should be. And so I think that performance, like, and feeling like you have to perform and you have to show up perfectly, and you can like, that just add these like massive weights to the struggles underneath like
Mhm.
everything you're already carrying.
And the interesting thing is, okay, so you were in the stands of a football stadium. I was in the stands of a baseball stadium, but same, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and it might even, you might think like, oh, baseball, it's magnified because there's a game every day. But I would imagine like the buildup for football almost makes it probably worse because it's like, well, I get one opportunity this week to show up and be perfect wife of player whomever.
Mm.
And I mean, in baseball, it's kind of like every day someone can't show up and be perfect, pretending to be perfect every day. Like none of us are perfect. Let's just
That's
clarify that.
true.
But I don't know, like
I hadn't thought of that at all. Like, yeah.
it's the buildup. It's like think about planning a wedding. Like it's all this buildup for your perfect wedding day, and you want it to be absolutely perfect. But if you had like part of your wedding every single day, it'd be like, all right, I can let this go. I don't know.
That's such a good point. I could see that because I'm thinking of like, okay, how I've perceived baseball and hockey. I'm like, man, with them traveling so much more, that would be a whole other level of hard, because in football, it's typically every other weekend, every
Okay.
other week. And then they're gone like max, it's 2 days,
Mhm.
unless they're in like London, but that's
Right.
like once a year.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah, but I haven't thought about the buildup and the pressure of like how you planning your outfit, like
Hmm. Hmm.
having to get everything together, and you're having family come in town. Whereas, yeah, there's no way that that's like you could really maintain
Can't
that if you're doing
maintain
that almost
that.
every day. Yeah.
Yeah. An interesting concept to ponder on. I want to know,
Yeah.
will you tell us a little bit, and us, whoever's listening, but you now have a podcast.
Yes. So
And
this
tell
is
us about that.
part of like these passions coming together. Okay, so this podcast, I wanted to start a podcast for like this past 7 years, and I've made like multiple attempts, but they just haven't worked. And a big part of it was when I would try to do it, like so many of these roadblocks were like mental, they were emotional, and it was a lot of like I hadn't dealt with a mountain of unprocessed trauma. So like I really finally, as I like started dealing with that, it really helped to have some breakthrough and remove these like hurdles that were in my way. Um, but yeah, so it also though, I thought originally that I was going to do like one-on-one coaching. So that
Hmm.
was my plan as of like a couple years ago. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm can combine my therapy background, the coaching background, and like meet with clients one on one. Well, when I started trying to do that, I've had some health issues over the past 5 years. I've had a couple pseudoaneurysms, and so it's really been quite a challenge because my body is like the pain that I experience, it changes every day. So I don't know if I'm going to wake up and to what degree of pain I'm going to be in, or like brain fog, or like just exhaustion. Like I don't know. And so
Wow.
first and foremost, it's like those days I have to give whatever energy I have or capacity to my kids. And
Yeah.
so I realized pretty quick, like I physically, my body isn't able to do that. Like I can't count on saying I'm going to meet with Jenny every,
Hmm.
Tuesday at 10. Like I can't commit to that because I don't know how I'll feel. So I was really praying about this because I felt pretty discouraged. I was like, dang, like, okay, Lord, why would you lead me to do these things? Like, and like light me up. Like, I'm excited about it. And I feel like they're going to waste, and I'm like, I don't, please, like, use this. Like, I don't know how to do it. This is in my mind, how I have thought like this could be done and used in these ways. And so then he brought the podcast up again, like this idea. And I also felt very like unsure and like, well, I've tried to do this like a couple other
Yeah.
times, it hasn't worked. And so I just was like, okay, I'm gonna just trust you and I'm gonna not talk about it for like tell people for a
Yeah.
while because
Yeah.
I need to just see like can this actually happen? And so part of like my recovery from a bunch of crap, like I've been trying to learn to stay close to God and try to just take it a step at a time. Like, okay, what's the next step? And I'm just gonna do that thing. So this is finally like it's been launched now for a few months, and I again wasn't sure if I could maintain like every Tuesday I'm going to have a new episode, but so far that's been happening,
Okay.
and so it's been really neat to see how God has like redeemed my own painful situations and used these passions in a different way than what I thought was going
Hmm.
to happen. So on the podcast, it's called Let's Get Real with Jena Burris. So it's the whole theme of getting to have honest, real conversations, typically topics that people don't really want to talk about, but that's what keeps them stuck. And so
Yeah.
the goal is to have honest conversations so that people can move towards healing.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I've been able to bring on a couple of friends who played in the NFL, and they've been able to share their story and experiences. And then like a variety of topics on like healing from narcissistic relationships,
Cool.
to even like how creativity helps us in healing and like that kind of thing. And so anyways, I've been really, really enjoying it. And then it's helped too with my health stuff to be like, okay, I can pre-record this and do like if I am not up for it that day, like I can push it to another day. So
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
yeah.
So you're finding the happy medium. And this, like, what an amazing concept, right? Like, for you, as a way of healing for you to be able to use your gifts, and then for every person that's brought on to get to share their story in hopes that it helps someone, right?
Yeah, that is the goal. Like that is what I hope for sure. Like I think of yeah, because I keep coming back to like that former version of myself. If I could have just heard these women share their story, like it just would have made me feel way less alone and been like,
Hmm.
okay, like there's hope, there's like, possibilities. And now there's people I could connect with and contact
Yeah.
who I could talk more about, like
Yeah.
whatever I was going through. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for other people who'd be listening to.
That's amazing. I'm
Yeah.
really proud of you. Really, really proud of you because it's not, I know, it's not easy to be like, okay, I'm going to start sharing my stuff.
Exactly, exactly. Not at all. And yeah, it even made me think of what you were saying earlier in doing this, right? Where you're like, hey, I'm putting myself out there. And that's like been such a struggle is being opening myself to criticism.
Mm,
So much vulnerability in that. Like that's been a really, really big mental hurdle for me to work through.
yes. I think too, like just our generation and social media and stuff, like everyone feels like the the pace is like the pace of perfection. Like, well, everything has to appear to be perfect. And lately I'm like, no, this is going to be totally cringy. Like, I'm sure, like, this is not going to be like beautifully edited and put together and all the cool, real things. But the goal is like, I need to be comfortable in the cringe and just be
Mhm.
raw and like organic and, like, hey, this is me. This is the person that I'm chatting with right now. And we're not claiming to have it all perfectly together. Like,
Yes.
and we're celebrating that because I think the like reality shows of, I don't know, like Basketball Wives, or there's been different things. And it's always this bend to like either going out, clubbing all night, living the dream, like this is the party is life, or it's all of these uber wealthy people that just have everyone that does everything for them. And it's like, yes, those people are there, of course. But that's not the normal. Like most of us are like renting apartments somewhere with like our kids and
Yes.
like, we were living off like camping furniture and mattresses on the floor at the season. I'm
Exactly.
like,
It's
this
so
is
true.
real. Like,
And it's most people
yeah,
in it.
it's the
Yeah.
vast majority. And so I'm like, let's just dispel some of these misconceptions of the glamorous life of professional athletics because most of the time I'm by myself, not at the club, and
Yeah.
not in my cute like Jimmy Choo shoes, you know?
And you have your kids climbing all over you and getting in
Yes.
bed with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm like famous dad, and we're at Target for the ninth time this week because
So accurate. Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
What would you
Yeah, I love
say
that.
like is like one of the biggest misconceptions of life in pro sports?
My gosh. Ugh. One of the biggest. I mean, I just think of, yeah, I guess like money stuff, right? So, okay, like I guess baseball is different than football, but in football, you get, you hear contracts go around. It's not guaranteed. Like they have a certain number that's guaranteed, which is like a fraction of whatever the contract is. And so I think, yeah, it's like this big misconception of thinking that like somehow because you have a contract, like you're guaranteed to be here all of those years and you're guaranteed to get every penny of that when that's not the case at all. And so they really are like a pinky promise. Like it means nothing, you know?
His contract.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
like,
that.
okay, yep.
Yeah. Um,
Yep, we'll just swear on this and then break it later. But
yeah.
um just because I remember like well, so when for Miles' rookie year, he like just what you're talking about. We were in an apartment. We rented our furniture because we're
Yeah.
like, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. And it's like, oh, he has a 3-year contract. It's like, well, we don't know that. Like,
Mhm.
and so and it's like every day in practice, like they have to prove themselves. They could get cut based off a crappy practice, or if they get injured in that practice, like you don't know if they're going to
Yeah.
stay.
I don't know.
Every game, they have to earn their and they have to keep their spot, earn it and keep it. So like it's perpetual. And then when he finally did get released, man, I was so shocked at I don't know, and I think it comes to part of this misperception too. But I was really shocked at like the crickets when
Mm,
he got released
mm,
because like here we were living in the Bay Area at the time, but I was like, the people that we thought were really cared about us that like I thought they were genuine friends. Like
mhm.
they just cared about us as people, and some of them were, in church stuff. And so it's very shocking and very disappointing to see like people stop reaching out when it's like this is the time of need for us. And I don't think you realize like we move, you don't like I don't know the next time I'll see you because
Mhm.
we this isn't permanent. Like this is a very temporary spot. So yeah, anyways, I,
I
I
really
don't know if
haven't
that
heard that.
answers.
No, that's a great point. I didn't learn that either. I remember like after I think it was the first like postseason run or whatever, and you're like saying goodbye to people, you get off the plane, and yes, it's a private plane, but like it's the team, and um, it's like all right, like we'll talk soon. And some of those people I literally haven't seen in 15 years,
Yes,
it might
exactly.
be like a social like comment or like, hey, whatever, but you're like, wow, we were so close for those months. And
Yes,
it's like, oh my gosh, I never even realized that we wouldn't be hanging out again in the near future, let alone like decades later.
exactly. That's the part that's really caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What, maybe we'll go, what is your like life verse or your family motto?
Oh man. Okay, the life verse I think is easier that comes to mind. And this was one that like really spoke to me, especially during like when he played. Um, but yeah, it says that she's clothed in dignity and strength, and she laughs without fear of the future. So, and it's funny because I just came across this morning because that's my daughter's
Hey.
life verse that when she was born, we gave her, and I had like outlined her hand on that Bible page last year, and I just came across, I was like, oh my gosh, this was a year ago. So that's cool that it even came up now. But I
Yeah.
remember like that verse really spoke to me because it was kind of like aspirational. Like I
Mm-hmm.
felt so anxious and afraid perpetually every day. Like, and I don't think I noticed that I always had even just low grade anxiety in the back of my head because of the nature of that game, and this constant not never knowing, like
Mhm.
never knowing how long we're in this city, never knowing like how, just how long it's going to last. And so I deeply desired to, I wanted to be able to like laugh without fear of the future, like no matter what happened, to be that like secure
Mm.
and confident, like in my relationship with God. I even had a shirt with that verse made on it
Oh,
because I was like, whatever it takes to like embody this, like I have
yeah,
to
I'm
figure that
claiming
out.
it. Yes, that is over
Exactly.
my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't say I've like learned how to do that great, but it's it's gotten better. It's like a
Yeah.
hope.
It's a hope. It's all right.
Yeah.
I have some of those too. Um, what do you believe is the number one thing that you can do to take care of you
Oh,
or
I
to
think
take
it
care
did
of others person? So
to
what,
take,
no, like you are naturally a take care of others
oh
person,
yeah.
like
Hmm.
husband, kids, clients, friends, people, you're like very much like the shepherd over. So how do you like what's a rhythm or something that you do just to take care of yourself in these?
Yeah. That's a great question. Okay, so because it looks different depending on the season, but the rhythm that been creating, I've been like so intentional of trying to make this a habit for probably the past like 5 or 6 months, where every day, I don't know if you've heard of Chip Dodd, but love him. He's fantastic. He has a great podcast, but he also has tons of resources, and he's all about helping us learn how to navigate emotions and reconnect with emotions. So like I've mentioned, I've been recovering from codependency, legit, like in coda. And a big thing for any recovery program is you got to deal with how you feel. So like we got to deal with our feelings, learn how to like name these emotions. And ultimately, he goes deeper. He's like, every emotion is connected to a need that is not getting met.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a really simple document. I have been doing this every single day to try and practice this, and it has been
Okay.
a game changer.
You
And it
wake up
helps
and
to,
do it or just
I
anytime throughout the day?
typically, like, I do it when I wake up. So, like, wake
Okay.
up, have my coffee, I'll read like something in the Bible, and then I pull it out and I like just journal. A lot of times I'll journal it out. Sometimes I'll write it out, and then I'll share it with a friend. But it's super helpful because I'll take the feelings list, and it's only 8 core feelings, so most of the time fear. Like fear is the one that comes up for me. And then the next question's like what do I need? And he has a list of 16 needs. So it could be like a lot of times it's like, I really need support.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one that's come
Yeah.
up for me. So like to take care of myself, to help, like I need support, like whether it's getting a sitter for the kids or asking my husband if he can help pick up the groceries or like whatever it is. Or it could be the need for guidance where I'm like, I feel really afraid because I can't figure this out or I'm lost. Like I need guidance. So like who could I reach out to or who, whatever, or sometimes it's nurturing, and that's been another big one for me, especially with my physical health and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
sometimes if it's nurturing, it's like, hey, if I need nurturing, what does that look like today? So it could be like, okay, I really need to get in nature, like I need to go for a walk, or I need to get outside, or I just need to call a friend, or like whatever. So it's like, how can I nurture myself? So like
Yeah.
it's very
I need this. You have to
simple.
send this to me.
I will send it to you.
Is it a free resource or like a
Yeah.
free program? It
Oh,
is.
it's free. And yeah, it's so good. I'll definitely send this to you because
Yeah.
it's been transformative to help me name these things because so often like we get our needs met in healthy or unhealthy ways. So prior to being able to name this, I would just basically try to get my needs met indirectly, being
Yeah.
like, oh, if I help my kid with this, then it will help me feel more like
Productive.
settled and
Yeah.
yep, productive, whatever. And it's like, but that's not actually doing it. So like
Mhm.
it's an unhealthy way of trying to get that met. So it's trying to be more intentional and like name these things and get more connected with like who I am, what's going on inside of me so
Yeah.
that I can show up better.
Amazing. Okay. Last question for you, just because now you have a actor husband. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, of all time?
All-time favorite movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. I absolutely love it's like I feel cringy saying this, but I so I'm like this is I feel embarrassed to admit it. Okay.
Do it.
But I also know I'm not alone. I know there's others who are like, "Oh, that's mine too. I just won't say it." So I'll say it. Okay, it's Legally Blonde. That is like my
Yeah.
all-time favorite movie. It's so
Oh,
good. So many one-liners. She just cracks me
yes,
and
that
like
is a
it's
great one.
nostalgic.
And
Yeah.
there's like another one coming or a remake or something.
Oh my gosh. Yes, with her older, right?
Her old, yeah, something.
I
So
cannot wait.
they're
Oh
right.
my gosh, she's so good. It's so good.
I love that. You have a little like Elle Woods vibe to you. I feel like you're like
I just need
beautiful
my
and blonde,
pink.
but also brilliant. Like,
Her court case scene is my favorite. My sister and
yeah.
I were just quoting it last night. Like, but so you were in the shower? Okay, well, how long were you in the shower? We were just going back and forth. That was great.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you, Jenna, so much for your time. I am going to stop recording, but then stay on for just a few more seconds.
Okay.
But yeah, just thank you for your time and being here. And I was so excited when you said yes, because I know
Oh,
so much wisdom and just you're beautiful inside and out. So
oh, thanks, Brie. I'm just super glad you're doing this. So any way that I can champion you, I want to do it for sure. So yeah, you're amazing. Thank you.
Mhm.